Welcome to another episode of Alan's Connection. In a world where hope died along with Charles Xavier, and the X-Men were founded by Magneto, in this wasteland, there is one name that resounds like a warning, and that is Rogue. So, without further ado, let's begin. Iron Studios, 1/10 scale, Marvel Comics, Rogue. Okay guys, today we have for you a nice statue by Iron Studios. We will start by looking at this nice printed corrugated box that brings the Age of Apocalypse version of Rogue. I like the nice matte black finish around the entire box. Now, if we look at the front of the box, we have this imposing picture of Rogue herself, which is partially framed by a purple circle. I like how the yellow and greens contrast with the black background. I hope you can also see the glossy finish in the image. Of course, we have some brands across the box. First of all, the 90s Marvel Comics logo is here on the upper left corner. Then we have a gold 10 Years of Iron Studios logo on the upper right and above the 1/10 scale. And on the bottom, the name of the character and timeline. Rogue, X-Men, Age of Apocalypse. Okay, now let's move to the side of the box. This side is mostly black, but it has some text here. The name Rogue in the middle, and below X-Men Age of Apocalypse. In the bottom, of course, we have the Iron Studios logo. Now, let's check out the back of the box. Here we have a full image of Rogue in a flying pose. Wow, really cool, guys. You can also see a purple energy effect on her hand. And around the figure, there is a purple glow. At the bottom, we can see the Iron Studios logo. This is a nice teaser of what's inside, guys. Hopefully the statue is as good as the picture. Let's move on now to the other side of the box. We're back at a minimalist black look with a large Iron Studios logo in white at the center. You can also see a bit of Rogue's glove hand here. And now we return to the front of the box. Let's check out the inner packaging, guys. Okay guys, this is the inner packaging for 1/10 scale Iron Studios Marvel Comics Age of Apocalypse Rogue. Basically we have a 2-part styrofoam package. You can see how well protected is this figure. And we have Iron Studios letters engraved in the front of the box. And it's sticking together by a transparent tape, and on the back we don't have nothing but more styrofoam. And if you check out the sides of the box, you can see the tape passing through the middle. And now we're back to the front of the box. Okay guys, basically we have 3 pieces here. The first one is the base of the figure, which is the throne. And as you can see, it has tissue paper protecting the throne, protecting this base. And we have foam as well. And we have the other pieces as well. The head head sculpt protected in tissue paper as well. And of course we have then the figure itself without the head, obviously. So we have these three pieces that we must put together to have this awesome figure assembled. So let's do that next. Okay guys, here we have the three pieces without their tissue paper. And let's start by assembling the figure itself. Here we have Rogue's head sculpt. As you can see in the bottom part of the head sculpt, Rogue has a magnetic feature there. So let's take the rest of the body and let's assemble it. As you can see, you have to place the head sculpt looking at the right arm. So like this and there. If you could notice, the head assembled itself really easily because of the magnetic part that it has. And of course, near Rogue's left knee, we have another peg, so we can assemble it into one of the sides, the not destroyed side of the throne. So you have to look for the hole there, and you place the peg in the hole, the leg in the hole, and that's it. That's how you assemble your figure. Age of Apocalypse Rogue is ready to be reviewed. Okay guys, here we have another beautiful Iron Studio statue. This time it's a striking version of Rogue. She's in flying mode near a cool looking throne. Let me address an issue about the throne. As I was moving this figure to prepare it for the review, unfortunately I snapped one of those blades that surround the throne. As I grabbed it from the blade, it snapped because it's quite delicate. Probably is the weakest part. Guys, if you get this figure, don't grab it from the blades or you're gonna break the blade apart. Apart from that, let's take a look at this awesome throne. First, I don't remember it from the comics, but it looks like it would fit nicely into the Apocalypse era design. The bottom has an industrial look, while the top looks like it's made from some alien rock or metal. The fact that it looks metallic and has this red-purple sphere makes me think this might be Magneto's. The lower section of the base adds a mechanical look, with some sculpted cables and some futuristic looking components. There are also some dangerous looking sharp pieces in the throne near the armrest. You can see these claws which remind me of Weapon X. And also these giant blades that completely surround the base of the throne, and I snapped one of them. As you can see, everything is painted in the metallic silver. It looks less like a seat and more like a symbol of power, which fits perfectly in the Age of Apocalypse, guys. Now the statue itself stands out immediately because of Rogue's pose. She has been sculpted flying in mid-air, and she is supported by the throne. She looks very agile here. She has one leg extended, the other one is bent, and her upper body has a forward motion, which makes it look like she's launching into the air to fight the Infinites. If we look at her costume, the green and yellow suit gives this statue a burst of color. The sculpt is done with such detail that you can almost feel like this is fabric. She has all these wrinkles in the dark green upper sleeves. And if you look at the black stripes in her legs and forearms, you will see the stitched detail. You can also see additional seams and wrinkles where she is bending her right leg, guys. And of course, even more sculpted seams in her torso. In her boots, you can see these purple egg-shaped accents. Some additional seams and even fully sculpted soles on both boots. There's also slight gloss throughout the suit, which looks nice. Finally, we have this purple color with silver spheres, which is a common costume design for the Age of Apocalypse X-Men. The hat sculpt tends to look more realistic than in the comics, and her expression makes her look focused but calm. Of course, she's sporting her signature two-tone hair, which is flowing nicely as she begins her flight. And it seems like every strand of hair has been sculpted individually, guys. So as you can see, quite a nice statue here, guys. I love the flying pose and the colors. I'm really happy with it. Alright guys, here we have Rogue, but this version of Rogue isn't just a costume change. It's a completely different life shaped by one of the X-Men's darkest timelines, the Age of Apocalypse. In a world where Charles Xavier never lived to form the X-Men, and Apocalypse rose to power unrestricted, Rogue becomes far more tough than her regular comic version. She's a survivor forged in constant war. Sheltered by Magneto, Rogue joins the X-Men after completely absorbing Polaris' powers. Tragedy soon follows when she witnesses the brutal death of the Scarlet Witch. So this version of Rogue develops a deep loyalty to Magneto. She even has a kid with him, Charles Lenshaw. But in this world, Rogue is constantly being pushed to her limits. She fights Apocalypse's forces, protects the last remains of humanity, and stands on the front lines against overwhelming odds. This version of Rogue is one of the strongest figures in this Apocalypse world. Okay guys, thanks for much watching. I hope you like this figure as much as I do. Don't forget to help the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment. And I'll see you next on Alan's Collection.